Thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode here in the Designers of Dream Living Facebook group. We are the Innovators, and we are so excited to celebrate our Woman of the Month, which is Swapna Abraham. She has accomplished such a great feat. Four world records. I get kind of tongue tied saying it for music. I mean, it is just phenomenal to daily record and create music for 1,000 days in a row live on Facebook. I'm just saying, it's just been remarkable.
Well, thank you. Thank you,
So
Michelle.
I was really excited to meet her. And we're glad to have her here to kind of give her some questions about the behind the scenes, what it took to do such a great feat. So at this time, we want to welcome Swapna Abraham to.
Well, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, ladies. It's a pleasure.
So honored to have you here, Swapna. I mean, this is amazing. So
Well,
I guess I'll start with the first question is what prompted you to take on such a task of 1,000 days? And
yay. So I've been a musician, singer-songwriter, basically for now it should be 28 years.
mm-hmm,
By the time I'd reached 24 years of having done, there's a hobby, not even a serious hobby, one can call it. And the 22 albums, of which 19 were gospel, and the others were just normal songs. I kind of felt that it wasn't leading up to anything. It didn't add up. I felt very unfulfilled as a singer songwriter. So I was wondering, is it about fame? Is it about likes and following and all of that, or is it about money? No, it was. I think yes. Part of me wanted the affirmation and the acknowledgement for having been an artist for so many years, and I don't know if I received that as I will have expected. Vanity here.
mm-hmm,
But the other part of it was just not being fulfilled as an artist. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to just stop writing songs, just going to stop singing. So I thought that when I decided to stop something, that I'd not feel bad about it anymore. You would probably develop a healthy, so to say, indifference that, yeah, there could be a lot of music happening in the world. Never mind, I'm done with it. And then I decided I was going to give it up. The next morning, I woke up and I decided something else. I thought, let me just do something really, really, really crazy, like
mm-hmm.
do a song a day for 1,000 days. I don't even know how I got the number 1,000. Come on, I could just stop at 100 or 200 or 1,000 days. And then I was like, I'm never going to do that. Let me try. So I'm going to be so tired of trying this huge Phoenix move or whatever that was. I came back from work that evening, did a song with no idea, no tune, no lyrics, pre-worked on. Just came and played and did it, and was fine. So I did the same the next day, and I did the same the next day. So 3 days in a row. And I was like, you know what? I can actually do this. It's very doable. If I can do it for 3 days and not feel the weight of it, it's very doable. And so then you're going to do this big thing. And everything about the challenge was not so much about writing the song every day. It's so much else. It's about PR, letting people know, and just all of these things that need to come together. Is it a world record? Then who do you get in touch with and all these things? That was really, really difficult because it's just so much more than songwriting. A few days before I was supposed to start, I got to know that a song a day for as many days is already being done by a great guy in the world. And a certain world record organization that accepted my world record as legit comes back to me saying that you can be the first woman doing it. And I was like, no, I didn't want to be the first woman doing anything. I would like to be the first person trying something, right? so I thought to myself, this is something that I decided. Let me decide to do a second song every day. And let me make it a little different from what I'm comfortable with. because it could the first song could be gospel, could be secular, could be anything. But the second song, when I'm going to do for children, I've never done, I've never done songs for children. And sing like a child, compose that kind of music. Let me try that. Oh, so I said 2 songs a day for 1,000 days. Oh my goodness, the normal song was so easy. The children's song was so difficult, and it was shorter, but just with the child's voice. You compose with the child's mind, and it's little, so not in my league. But eventually I started enjoying that so much. I do the main song, and then when we come to the children's song, I feel this huge sense of relief, like now let's just have fun.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
But that was how we started. This I am going to sound arrogant when I say this, but the truth of the matter is, once you do something which is difficult, over a period of time it becomes boring and it becomes quite uninteresting. So it's like, you know what? I'm anyway carrying a load. Let me just add more to the load. I'll do a third song, which is exclusively gospel, because you want to differentiate these, right?
Mhm.
For 100 days. And yeah, cool. And then I said, well, if I can raise the bar every now and then, let me just do a little more bar raising. And I said, for 40 days, that's 40 other days. I like the Psalms and the Bible so much. And I've done an album with the Psalms back in the past. Now, let me do 5 songs from the Psalms also every day. So 2 + 5, which means I'll have to work half a day at work, use my annual leave for the rest of the half day, come home, and oh, that was so difficult. 40 days doing 7 songs a day. And what was more difficult was, it's so easy to write your own lyrics. But then you've got the book of Psalms and you're just picking random lyric, and it's got to fit into your tune. That's more difficult, actually. And I
Mhm.
thought, why am I making my life so miserable and so difficult? But as I went on, I noticed that just like the main song was its kind, the children's song was its kind, the psalm songs, which is just another kind. And it was just so special. I cannot do that kind of stuff. It was so special. Even the 100 days, the third exclusive gospel song, was also special. And then I decided, you know what? Push myself so much. And it's towards the last year that all these additional bars happen, right? On the 999th day, let me do 1 song for children and 20 songs. So it's like 21 songs in one day. So I'll start at midnight when the whole world's, bursting crackers and all that stuff. Let me start writing my songs. Oh my goodness, that was so difficult. And the finale was the next day. I had to prep for the finale, all the event management as well, right? Oh my goodness. That day I thought, you see, when you set a target, you have to live up to it. Because if you've succeeded in all these other challenges, and then you've set a target and you failed in just one challenge, people are not going to remember that you succeeded in that. They're going to remember, you know what? She set such a high bar and she failed in that.
Right. Yeah,
Right? And
that is true.
exactly. They're not going to
Mhm.
remember all the great things. They're going By the time I was reaching song 17 or 18, I literally thought I was combusting or disintegrating or just falling apart, man. I can't even explain. It was not exhaustion. It was terrible. Anyway, that was it. And
Mhm.
after everything's over, maybe we can talk about that as well after everything was over.
Awesome. That's amazing. And I forgot to introduce everybody. I'm over here just talking and diving right in because it's so exciting to hear such a feat. So, before we go into any more questions, I don't want to be remiss and introduce the other people that are here on the panel to uh, be a part of this interview. Okay, so we are going to start with Miss Barbara Beckley.
Thank you, Miss Lachelle. I was just engulfed in what it's Swapna, right? I just want to make sure I say it right.
Swapna, right. That's right. That's
Swapna,
right.
Swapna. Ooh, yes. I love when I can get the names right sometimes. Swapna. So yes, Miss Swapna. I was so engulfed. I was like, you know what? I can introduce myself later. But my name is Barbara Beckley, as Lachelle said, and I am part of the Innovators, is what here collaboration group. which is awesome. That tell everybody over and over. It's so important to do that. But I'm also have my own business called the Diamond Factor LLC. I am CEO and founder of that, which is the biggest mission is to help women understand. I always say this, their PPD, their purpose, their passion, their drive in life. And once they understand that, once they get that, then what I come in and do is I help them get on platforms like TV streaming, interviews, and the list goes on of social media, understanding how to shine better than I'm gonna say shine better than the next person, the next singer, the next author, next publisher. So that's what I do to help them grow and to just be their cheerleader to do that. So that's what I'm here to serve. So thank you, and I'm here with Miss Swapna. Yay! And
Wow,
I'll give
that's
it to
awesome.
you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Laquita.
So I too, just like Barbara, I'm sitting here like hanging on to your every word. I love the way that you tell the story. I'm a storyteller, and with that being said, I am also a publisher. So I am Laquita Parks, and I am the publisher and owner of Pay Pro V Publishing. Pay Pro V means pain, progress, victory, because without pain there is no progress, and without progress there can be no victory. So I help people take their stories from a thought to a realization. And I love, love, love what I do. And I am so connected with your story because what you've done is you have taken your reality from a thought to your story from a thought to a realization. You had a thought and you dived in and you started, and it just grew and grew and grew. And I love hearing you talk about the trials and the tribulations that you went through to get to the realization of your story. So I am so impressed by that. I am so delighted that you're here. I'm so delighted that you agreed to allow us to interview you. And I'm excited. I see that keyboard there, and I love music, and I'm sitting
Oh,
here like, okay, I want to hear some of those psalms. I want to hear, a sample of your song and what you do. And I'll let Lachelle introduce herself, but I am dying to ask the question. So
Okay, there you go. I just assumed that everybody knew who I was. I'm Lachelle, America's Supermom, mother of 15, and podcast host and all things media regarding mental wellness. I think it's so important for us to have strategies that can help us to overcome life's obstacles with a smile instead of stress. So I'm happy to be here. And I'm turning it over to you, Laquita, with your question.
thank you. So, you guys know I love this format because we're so relaxed and just so comfortable. Um, my question is, when you got ready, when you started say, okay, I'm going to record these songs, I'm going to do this. What were, how we want to run it by somebody and say, hey, look, what do you think about this? I want to do this. What do you think? When you started to decide that you were going to do this, who did you tell, number one, and what was their reaction? Did they think that you were just kind of nutty?
oh my goodness. Yes, I happened to work. I happened to work because I resigned right after the challenge got over. So I was working in a strategy consulting firm in administration, and some of these brilliant brains are my colleagues. So when I spoke to them about this, they were like, do you really know how long 1,000 days is? And I said, it's 143 weeks. It's about 32, 33 months. Yes, it's quite long. And they were like, it's going to be really difficult because you're going to work and life is also going on. At the time, my daughter was expecting her first baby. My son was just getting ready for graduation, sports journalism degree, and being a single mom, this meant that I would actually be the one to show up whenever something was happening in either of their lives. My parents were at the tipping point of that age where I should be on call. So the timing was probably not the best in terms of the amount that's already there on your plate. But you know what? I thought that if I'm going to just wait for everything to be just smooth and sailing well, I'm never going to do this. So when you already have a really, so to say, tough, hectic life, and you take up something like this, it just goes with the rest. So, so my colleagues are the ones that I wrote a concept note when I was put. This is really important, though, ladies. That you know this very well for sure. When we think of something, especially something that's probably never been done before, we've got to talk to ourselves a lot about it ourselves. We without even realizing it, we're actually talking to every other person that we're meeting about this thing we're going to be doing. And of course, in the pursuit of finding partners and collaborators on different aspects of this challenge, world record organization, sponsors, the members of the press, media, and a whole lot of things. I had to revamp my website. I had to do it, a whole lot of things. And then it's when you've got to write a concept note. So when I started writing it down, I was like, you've got to do this. When you write it, the idea, which was just a whim or whatever you call that, became crystallized into a real plan. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is bloody real.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love that. You're right. You're right. We do a lot of self-talk. That's why I believe in positive self-talk, but we do a lot of self-talk because sometimes we have to encourage our own selves because when we're innovators and visionaries, the world doesn't see that. They're like, no, you can't.
Absolutely. So I have a lot of dissuaders as well. A lot of dissuaders. They'll not call them dissuaders. Let me just say that they were reality check people. They're like, you don't want to do this, and because you never know, you're dependent on technology, you're dependent on so many things. What if you fall sick? And what if you lose your voice? Well, by the way, all this actually happened.
Wow.
All the what ifs happened. The worst what ifs happened, right? And I'm like, you know what? Never once. I will sound a little ostentatious probably when I say this, but this is the truth of the matter. Never once did I think that I would fail. Never once. Never once did I think, oh my goodness, this is so huge. No, never thought about it that way. For me, it was 1,000 days, and I just took it, that one day at a time. That is so real. You just do it a day at a time. Every day, do it as if it's the only day. Just give it your best. The next day, give it your best. You've increased the bar, never mind. Give that your best. And you can't be good at this challenge, which is a personal thing, and then go back to work and say, oh, I'm tired of work. Or you can't tell your kids, you know what, I'm so busy with work and my challenge, and so guess what, I just need a kid holiday or whatever you call it. No, you've got to juggle. You've got to manage all these things. They say, Amma, we need you to be here. Yes, I'll show up. I'll carry my challenge along with me, won't I?
I love that. I love that.
I love your energy. I love it.
I'm in Dubai. My parents are in India. My son was in Southampton in the UK. My daughter was in upstate New York. I'm telling you, and this challenge was pegged to 24 hours of a day in Dubai time. So if I didn't get the songs in within the 24 hours, I'd fail. So if I'm traveling between time zones, I'd have to make sure that I carry this tiny clock along with me and make sure that I'm carrying Dubai time with me and making it. Plan your flights accordingly. You get stuck somewhere, get stuck properly so you have enough time to get stuck and finish the songs.
Strategic plan, you're being stuck. I love that. I love that. You got a plan. I love that. Barbara, did you have any questions for Swapna?
Oh, yes, I do. Well, first of all, I'm like, LaQuita, I love your energy. I mean, I'm just like, woo, for you, Swapna. And then I want to get your youth serum because you're telling me you got a child that had a baby, your grandmother?
Yeah, yes, indeed. My
No.
daughter.
I'm like, what is this?
I was like, no, she didn't say that. I'm sitting here like,
okay, LaQuita, you hear it too? I was like, wait a minute, did she just say her daughter had a child and she looked like she a teenager? I mean, you look like a teenager to me. Exactly. You look like a teenager to me. So I want your youth serum. What are you drinking?
Oh, I'm so glad. So she had 2 babies in the course of 1,000 days. 2.
Wow.
We had a son and a daughter, and she's having her third next month. So, my goodness, it was really, really something. You know, and
Oh my
we've got
God.
as moms, we have to be there for them, right? I mean,
Yes.
we've got to show up.
Yeah. I'm in the fall right now, Swamna, because I still can't believe that you got some grandchildren here. Woo!
Right.
I mean,
Like a
that wasn't
baby.
my question, but I just had to put that out there. Like, did we just hear this teenager has,
I said nothing. No, I must have heard that wrong.
yeah, I was like, I said, something wrong with my ears.
When did the teenagers start having grandbabies? When did teenagers start
Oh,
having grandbabies?
but, but
Yeah,
Swamna,
I just grew a little older, I guess, in the course of the challenge, Barbara, just like everyone else. Just grew a little
it's
older. But
like
you know
you're
what,
going back.
Susie?
You're
No,
going
you'll
back.
be surprised. The picture I took on day 1 and the picture I took on day 1,000, I had grown younger by a few years.
So there
See
you
that?
go. Music is the key. Music is the
Music
key.
is the
That's
key.
what I'm
Music
saying.
is the
They say
key.
music really is therapeutic, though, really.
Yes, it
Therapeutic.
is.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
also the whole thing, the exercise of showing up, showing up, showing up, being on the edge, being on the edge. You know, being on the edge is actually a good place to be.
Mhm.
Mm, mm.
Tell
Helps
us
you breathe.
more. Tell us more about that.
Yes.
When we are always okay, and then suddenly you have one of those cliffhanger moments. You know, it's, oh, but you know, if every other moment, every other day, you have a definite crazy window when you will be walking on a tight rope every day, whether you like it or not. And you've said that for yourself. You have to do it every day. But for me, probably it was just the songs. But for a lot of the people, it's the bar is different for each person, isn't it?
Mhm.
I know that for a lot of the people, to just get out of bed is that tightrope walking.
Mm.
It depends on where we are in life, isn't it?
That's so true.
That is so
That's a good
true.
point. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So that was
Wow.
that. Yes, Barbara. Tell me you were going to ask something.
Yeah, I still had to, yeah, I had to get myself together with the you having grandchildren. Because it's like, I want your serum. I want what you're drinking, what you're eating.
Right.
We need to know, I need to know all that.
Right. We do need some recipes. That's right.
Right.
I know there's
Oh.
some secret sauce somewhere. Oh, Queen is on mute. Queen is on mute. But no, my other question for you, Ms. Swapney, is one thing I talked earlier about purpose, passion, and drive. And I always ask when I interview, especially ladies, is where, because it always starts, the seed starts somewhere. Because now I know you've been singing, but I know before all that, what kind of really prompted you to even get to that point? Because I know you mentioned that you were on your job and you were like strategic and management a little bit. So I mean, from that to this, and now the 1,000 days and everything, where did it all kind of like percolate, as I call it? Where did it start?
It did. I didn't even think about my day job when I thought about the challenge. I didn't even think, how would this fit in the scheme of things? I made a decision to do something that seemed impossible to a lot of people. I didn't really feel too overwhelmed by the thought of it because I had already broken it down to a little bit of pain every day. That's it. It's my pain shot for the day. So when I looked at it that way, I'm anywhere working every day. I'm doing a lot of things on a daily basis. So if I'm also going to be doing this little bit every day, and if it's accomplishing something, because I've spoken about this before, that when you're coming close to the point of giving up, and this is really what led me to it, when you're coming close to the point of giving up, is probably you're standing in front of that window before the biggest thing you're supposed to be doing in your life, and you really think where you are is you're just falling apart and you're giving up. No, that's still transition. When you're close to giving up, which is where I was, I only had to know that I was before my really next big wow moment, which is a 1,000-day long moment. Thank you very much. But And I think but this is a lesson for myself and for all of us, that when we're close to that, everything's falling apart, is probably when I should look and say, you know what? There is something that I'm not seeing. What is it? Nothing is falling apart as I imagine it is. There is something that I'm not seeing. And I was a little unfulfilled, so to say, even at work, because I wanted so much more. It's like some of us just need to do so much more, and we're not able to do that, right? So what do? Find that more.
Mhm. Or create it. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Or create
Yeah,
the opportunity. Yeah.
that's
We
awesome.
create the opportunity. That we always saying, I need an opportunity. I need this role. I need the job. I need someone to come and knock on my door and give me the bouquet of opportunity. No, but like
Mhm.
Michelle, who said, create the damn opportunity. Think about it, and it'll happen. Because we've got a
Mhm.
most powerful mind that's connected to a body that can do so much if only we will it. That's what I believe. We just have to
That's
will it,
awesome.
and then it happens. The body obeys eventually.
I love
I
that. That
love
is true.
love when you said create opportunity, because I was just thinking when Lachelle said and you said it, Swamp Thing, I thought about what is it, Shirley Chisholm. She's she was the first woman that went to the United States to
For
try to be
president.
president.
Mhm.
And she said, I think her quote was, if they don't have a seat at the table for you, bring your own chair.
That's right.
That's
And
the point. I know. Seriously, big hand for her. Seriously, wow, that is so well.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. I always hang on that because I'm like, you know what? See, because sometimes we can let ourselves, like you said, Swami, stop us to a certain point because maybe people didn't open up or didn't give us opportunity or that opportunity wasn't there. But then when you say, you know what, forget all that, I'm going to create my own. Then, like I said, now you keep moving. There's no excuses now because it's like, hey, this all on you now. You created this.
Totally. And we can be made to settle. Now, when that World Record Organization told me you can be the first woman,
Mhm.
I'm sure that there are different categories and there is a male, female for each world record. But you know what? And a lot of us can think, oh, you know what? Maybe I can just be the first woman doing something. Why not? But I knew that no, that's not what I set out to do. I didn't want to be the first woman doing anything, And but we can settle when an authority tells us, you know what? We have a category for ladies, for females. You can be the first in that. But I knew that no, there's already someone doing it. Let me do something for the first time, regardless of whether I'm male or female.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
don't we
we
don't
have to
need
be
to
strong
settle.
enough.
Yeah, we don't need to
Because
be
like,
told do this because you're a woman.
yeah,
A man's already doing this, so you be the first woman doing it. You know what I mean? I mean this very
Uh,
well towards
yeah,
our men folks.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
we
know
have
what
to
you're
be
saying.
strong enough to say,
Don't
hey,
let
you know
them
what?
set the
Don't want to do
standard.
that.
You set your own
Right,
standard. That's what I got out
right,
of that.
right. We have to say, we have to be strong enough as women. We have to be strong enough to say, no, that's not what I want to do.
exactly.
Exactly.
This is for me, because everything doesn't work for everybody, and
Mm-hmm.
we have to be strong enough. And I like what you just said, Swampna. Sometimes we allow people who have authority over us, be it male or female, to
Mm-hmm.
dictate which direction we go. That's why I love what I love these ladies, and I love what you do, Swampna, and your audacity. That's my favorite word.
Mm-hmm.
You had the audacity to set out to do it your way, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I
Indeed.
love about collaborating with these ladies. We have the audacity to do it our way, collectively and individually, because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's doing what I'm
Absolutely.
doing. There are 1,000 different publishers, but they're not
Absolutely.
doing it the way that I'm doing
Yeah, they could even stretch that more. They could even say, why be the first Indian woman doing it? You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
it.
You're
Exactly,
right.
exactly.
I
Mm-hmm.
You
didn't
know,
think about it that way.
Yeah.
How easily people put us into boxes, and you can be the best in that
Yes.
box. I'm
mm-hmm.
like, this is a planet. Opportunities are there across the planet for everyone as a
I
species of
love that.
humankind. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking at the boxes that you're carrying. I'm looking at the bigger picture.
I
Amen.
love it. That's good. Ooh.
Y'all see why you see why I like having people like that in the tribe. I'm just
I'm
saying.
telling you.
You
I'm
know, we
telling you,
need to have
Michelle.
that kind of mindset.
That's what
Okay.
I'm saying. Kick that box. I always tell people, blow up the box. Get rid of the
That's
I
box.
there
There
is no
shouldn't be a
box.
box.
Exactly.
right. So true. So
Like, I
true.
used to have one child who I used to say my 3 children, one would go close to the line and not come across the line. The other one would come not near the line. The other one would be like, oh, there was a line. So and that's my free spirit child. And I embrace that now because I'm like, there's a line. Because that's the
Right.
box.
I
That
love
line is
that. That's good.
I love
That's
it. Thank
good.
Good.
you. This is great. So I don't know about you ladies, but I'm ready to hear some.
Oh yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I was like hoping. I'm sitting there like, please, can we do this?
So you know what? I decided once the challenge was over, there's a song for the 1,000 songs in 1,000 days. Each of those additional bar challenges have got their own pages on Facebook, and the song is composed live. So once it was over, I decided that to preserve the memory of something so special, let me do a song a month. It's so easy, right? But do you know that ever since I finished, it's been difficult to do a song a month?
Because the pressure isn't the same. The pressure isn't the same.
I
Same,
know,
yeah. You got more
that's what
time.
which is which is why I said they were literally created, wired specially for a time to do something special. And after that, you know what? It's over. So I wrote a song while I speak to you, just incidentally. I'm in a lot of pain just because of a personal thing. But the point is, show up, because I'm so wired to show up regardless of,
Amen.
regardless
I
Thank
get that.
you.
I
feel
get
honestly,
that.
regardless of
Thank
whatever's going
you.
on in life. And we'll face the music after the show, right? So
Mhm.
yesterday I wrote a song called "With One Wing." I'm just gonna sing it ad lib, like make it very simple. I won't bore you, but it's not a happy song in case you're thinking of,
Okay.
Flying with one wing, half as much to sing. Tell me just one thing. What did we miss? Who gave us this? Fell out of a dream, called out of a team. Start or end, it seemed just too late. A twist of fate. Fly, oh high, trying to keep up, still behind. Do remind me, walking in the dark, near or off the mark, losing the last spark, fighting a flame, right in the blame. Someone pull the rug, who can off the plug? When was the last hug? A long time gone, so forlorn. So fly, oh high, trying to keep up, still behind, to remind me. So fly, oh high, I'm trying to keep up, still behind, to remind me.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, oh,
That was awesome.
Thank
oh
you.
my God!
Beautiful.
Keep you for the rest of the day? You just sing to me.
I
I
know.
just want you to sing to me
I
all
want to take
day.
her with me. I want to
Yeah, I
take her
want
with
to.
me.
Yes.
The
That
song
was
is called
Oh
with
absolutely
my
one wing.
God,
The song is called "With One Wing." It's about
That's
that was
flying with
so
awesome.
one wing.
beautiful. That was so beautiful.
man.
Yeah.
And it
Thank you.
what's so nice about it, Swamna. I mean, I don't know who's asking questions right now. I think we're just doing this. I'm not even looking at the format right now. But just I can feel your spirit and your
Uh,
heart and soul. I mean, it
Oh,
was just coming through me. It was that's why I was just like swayed. It's like I just had this like trance. I was in a trance because it
but
was
this
so
one,
good. It was so nice and pure.
yeah.
thank you. But this, I think, was what, because I was already going through a tough many, many, many years. And then when I thought, you know what, I can't wait for life to get easy to do this challenge.
Right.
The songs were such an amazing blend, whether I sing a happy one or a sad one. It was cathartic, therapeutic, you name it, whatever we want. But it is so good to just creativity of any sort is such a release for all the baggage we carry. Bring it to our work. And I'm writing this book now, right? The learnings of 1,000 days. I'm like, all that garbage even that we have in the pain we have and all the hurt and all of that, bring it to your work and shine. I believe this because it's true.
That is so true. I had that experience. We were talking earlier this morning about how, people try to mask some of the stuff with God in it. It's like they try to make it so it's perfect with God, but they're being disobedient instead of acknowledging, I'm having a rough time with this, or this is whatever. We make excuses to ourselves and say, well, other people are out to get me, or I got to compete and be the best, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm having a bad day. And that's okay, because that makes you relatable to be able to share with other people, rather than telling yourself a lie like I'm sacrificing, it's so hard and all this, when just do what you're called to do and, show up, and those
Exactly.
things will come up and it will inspire people from your purity,
This is beautiful. Are your
This is
songs
beautiful.
are your songs available for purchase?
They are on my website, swapnaabraham.com. I've got the some of the albums, but now they're there on iTunes and all of that. My website, I'm going to start a masterclass in a couple of weeks, a singing songwriting masterclass.
That's amazing.
Yeah, not many people teach others to write songs,
Yeah.
and it's something that can actually be taught, and I know how it's done. So I thought, you know what? Let me teach this, because a lot of the people, they're like, how do you write? And I'm like, you know what? You may be able to do this yourself. You just need a mentor to take you through the tricks of how you write a song. Because people can write poetry, people can hum a tune, but they just don't know how to marry it.
Together.
Oh,
You're
that's
right.
good.
You're right.
I have
That's
referrals
good.
for you. I have some referrals for you. So I love to know when that master class is starting. So I have some people that would be interested.
Oh,
in
that's
that.
wonderful, wonderful. I look forward to it. It's amazing. The teaching, imparting whatever we've learned and we've been given, empowering others is the only better thing than doing it ourselves.
Yeah. It's
Amazing.
because you're creating an impact on other people's lives. No, you are. So that's important. Now, did you say that you're writing a book, or did you write a book yet?
I'm in the process of writing it. I know you've got to write about 30,000 words at least. So I've reached 18,000 in 18 days. Actually, less than that. I'm writing about 1,500
Got
words a
that
day.
competitive going. Hey, the book in
Well,
1,000. No.
well, I was going to say that there's a person right here that would help you tremendously. Her name is Laquita Parks.
That would be me. I would love to. I would love to talk to you about the process. And I even teach a class too on how to write your story.
Nice.
So I teach a workshop on how to write your story. So I would love to connect with you, Swapna. I am so impressed by you. And I am actually going to go on your website and I'm going to purchase some of your music. Now, is With One Wing, is that available for purchase?
Yeah, With One Wing was just composed yesterday. So these thousands.
I wanted that one. I was about to get online too. I was like, let me get that song.
Right. So when that one's available, I want that one too.
No, because all these 2,320 songs were written over 1,000 days.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I haven't been able to put them into any album. I did 22 albums before that. Some of them were with my ex-husband, but on my own, I have about 4 albums. I think I got the number right, about 4 albums. So there's so much music that I have that's not produced. Wow, it's just me doing stuff, using an interactive beat or something on this keyboard and then publishing stuff. So it's not like studio produced, but I've actually put them all up there on SoundCloud. I must be a person who's giving a lot of the stuff for free.
Well, you know,
Okay.
here's a quick thought. If you've not thought of this before, this would be putting your some of your songs into to talk about your journey. And I know you say you deal with a lot of pain. To
Mhm.
put it into a journal and then use your songs. People can download your song in the midst of the journal, and you can guide them through the process, through the writing process, and that song
Spot
can
on.
be about them writing about their journal.
Spot
I mean,
on. In
writing
fact,
about
when
their
I'm writing, spot on. In fact, when I'm writing the learnings of the 1,000 days, um, some of it is learning, but
Mhm.
some of it is it took a certain type of person and certain series of life experiences and skill to do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff in me that's probably noteworthy, but there's a lot of stuff in me that's rubbish. And I realized that when I'm writing this book, I cannot not write the rubbish because that's also
No,
part of me.
that's who you are. Exactly. That's your
Absolutely,
story.
absolutely. So when I write, when I'm writing and I reach, so that was day 988, for example, and I look up the song of that day, it's got to be there because people can be like, okay, so now that was a story for that song. That's what brought that song, you know? And it's
Mhm.
Right.
exactly. So this is a very, it makes a lot more sense to put some of these songs into that book.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good because
Wow.
it's documenting the journey. I like that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
This
So
good.
is
this has just been wonderful. I mean, very inspiring because I think, especially now during times that we're in right now, and the fact that, you're all the way on another part of the world and
Yes.
inspiring us and the connection that we can have. And during this time when a lot of people are feeling like, life is not perfect, I don't have anything to move forward for, you can create your own life for yourself and the importance of showing up because you never
Yeah.
know what you can do for somebody else.
I fully agree. But you know what
Mhm.
happened was everyone only saw the 1,000 days.
Hmm.
When you've done something, and I think this is probably something that a lot of people that have done big stuff go through. I haven't heard many people talk about it, but there's a serious withdrawal that hits you once it's over. Like
Mm.
crazy withdrawal. And now for
Mhm.
me, that coupled with the world going into lockdown, me
Mhm.
living alone by default, and my father's passing. You cannot imagine what hit me after the 1,000 days was over, one after the other. It was like, oh my God, I can't bear it, I can't bear it, I can't bear it. And I was like, I just wish, I'm not joking. I just wish I had the songs every day
Mm.
because then life would be more bearable.
Yeah.
I know here I'm locked in my room. And you know when I was working, I'm just waiting to beat traffic and beat this and beat that and get that flight and
Uh,
somehow reach a place where I can sit and write songs. And here I am, enshrined in my room and all the time in the world. And I don't have the challenge anymore.
right. Yeah. That
No,
is something to think about.
Wow.
so
Hmm.
so
Amazing.
and the high is you go back to work without the challenge, right? You just like another employee. You're not the same person after you've done something like this. It's like after childbirth, a woman's not the same. After reach childbirth, a woman is not the same that she was before that child's birth. So after something like this, we come out very different. We cannot go back to the same old world in that sense because we have changed so much. It's really, really hard to be put back into a little, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
resigned and I was figuring out what I should do with my life after that. Not that I had any answers, I never had any answers, anyways. So I decided I'd do the song once a month. And then I thought, people ask me, why don't you put this down? You've learned so much, right? Why don't you put it down? Then I thought, okay, let me start writing about it. And I've only started that recently, by the way. But last year, it took me almost a whole year to cool off from 3 years, almost a year to
Mhm.
cool off. I'm serious. It was mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. To get off that constant being on the edge was not easy. Also, facing people on a daily basis on Facebook Live, they become like your family. I had withdrawal symptoms not seeing people on a daily basis. I
Yeah,
need to
that
see
is.
people. You know what? So these are real things. We get so accustomed to something that the moment it's taken off, even if it was really a pain, and if it was a pain in the neck, you got so used to the pain in the neck.
Right. So true.
I don't know if
So,
that made sense, but I had to say that.
so true. Well, this has just been wonderful. I mean, I could go
Yes.
on for hours. I'm one that, hey, I get inspired by stuff like this, but we just want to really appreciate you, Swapna, for taking the time
Yes.
to
Thank you,
share with us and have this recording, because I think this is important, especially now as it being Women's History Month, to celebrate such a successful accomplishment. So, what final words would you share with someone who's watching and they're at that point where they don't really know what's going on in the future, but they have this calling they feel to do something that they've never done before?
Yeah, a spiritual person, I would tell them that God has already planned what's ahead of them that they are to do. It's already there. The plan is there. You're just walking into it. The person who's probably not spiritual, I'm going to tell them the universe already has that plan. It's just going to unfold. So even if we feel like I'm at my worst low in my life, it doesn't matter. As long as we know also that the plan prevails, it will happen. It will happen if we just hang on. That's it. It will unfold. It will happen.
Love that. So
Beautiful.
good.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Well,
Awesome, lady.
we want to
Awesome.
thank you. You guys have any final remarks before we close? This has just been amazing. We're
It
gonna have
Oh,
to
has.
have
no
her
way.
come back. You look,
Yes.
maybe we can
Yes,
get some singing
definitely.
lessons, Barbara.
Swapna, tell
Or she can sing some
everybody
more
listening.
songs.
Yes, tell everybody listening how they can connect with you.
Yes.
Oh, yes. It's the email address is music@swapnaabraham.com. That's my email address.
Thank you.
If you search swapnaabraham.com, if you search 1000songs and 1000days.com, those are the two websites.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Well, it has been my favorite thing to say has been a plump, pleasing pleasure, better than a triple deck of peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh my
Being with
goodness,
you
bless
today.
you. Bless you, lady. It's been a pleasure as well for me. I'm going to speak about this. It helps me every time I speak about it. And I'm just only too happy to hear that it's helping other people as well, in whatever way.
Yes.
Yes.
Great
Thank you
impact.
Amazing.
so much.
Thank you, lady. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
then. See
Thank
ya.
you guys
Bye-bye.
for
Nice day.
watching. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. Enjoy your
Bye-bye.
Sunday.
All right.